Friends, welcome to CaFFe Gospel Ministries. The Gospel gives the classical rhetoric of Jesus. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and to God what belongs to God. We can't think of a spiritual journey away from our context. Now, we live in the context of war in among various countries. Pope Francis has invited us to observe a day of penance and prayer for peace on this Friday. The highlight of the past week was the bombing of the hospital in Gaza. The media world is divided into two, discussing who has done it. The Spirit of God will say, "Thou shalt not kill." It is here that we see the difference between the state and the Spirit of God. They are two fields or the one theme of human life. No secular law can replace the spiritual, or religion cannot replace the state. It is the duty of the state to find out who has done it and how they have done it. Whereas the spiritual voice will ask, "Why have you done it?" Faith is never against our social systems and societal norms. Spiritual life should enhance and improve our social and political life. If you look at the team of Jesus, they were from various walks of life. One among them was Simon, who was called a zealot, and another was Matthew, the tax collector. Simon belonged to a radical group who opposed the Roman taxing, and Matthew was a professional tax collector. Jesus was surrounded by disciples of varying opinions. They all came together in the person of Jesus Christ. Through him, their various interests grew into a spiritual goal, in order that you might have life and life in its fullness. John chapter 10, verse 10. Caesar is right as long as he is a caretaker of life, love, and justice. We owe taxes, for Caesar is the guardian of well-being. Our spiritual call invites us to blend our interests into one goal of to have life in its fullness. This gospel passage is not aimed at making us good taxpayers. In the second part, Jesus says, "Give to God what belongs to God." It's a matter of spiritual search and physical struggle. What is that I owe to God within me? Genesis chapter 1:26, let us make mankind in our own image and likeness. Image of God within us compels to rise from mere political citizens to the level of being caretakers of justice, equality, and freedom. St. Paul builds up the theme of image of God in Philippians 3:20 when he says, "We are the citizens of heaven." The true worship is to respect the image of God within us and around us. Friends, it is here the model examples of St. Thomas More and St. Oscar Romero, etc. are relevant. Oscar Romero was killed because it was a faith rooted in his identification with the poor and the oppressed. They were not moved politically, but by the divine image within them, inspired to challenge the political forgetfulness of justice, love, and freedom. The image of God invites us to go beyond Caesar's norms to care the poor, loving the divine mandate. Caesar cannot be the ultimate voice in the matters of life, whether born or unborn. And Caesar cannot be the norm when human life is devalued by politics. Caesar cannot challenge the environment for economics. Image of God reminds us to give the divine due of mercy, love, and justice. The Word of God is inviting us, be inspired by the divine due within you. God bless you all. Father Tony.